Welcome to this free lesson. I've got a great simple one for you today. Here's what's coming up. So just so you know, I've got the full PDF drum chart, the entire song, fully transcribed for you to download from my website for free. The link is beneath this video. Both pages of the song, of the chart, every single beat, every single fill, fully transcribed for you. The link is beneath this video, so you might want to have it saved to your computer as a PDF document or printed out in front of you. Hopefully it'll make things a little bit clearer to understand as we go through this together. So as I said, this is a beginner song. Dancer by the Idols, drummed by Jon Beavis, and sorry, I couldn't resist that. The tempo is 140 BPM, so there's nothing complicated going on in this song that a beginner couldn't be able to play, or wouldn't be able to play, but the tempo does push it a little bit. It's a little bit fast, so you'll be forgiven if you're finding it difficult to go all the way through the song, but like I say, take any of the parts out, nothing really complicated going on here. So we start off with this drum beat for the intro. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Those bass drums are falling on 1, the and of 2 and the and of 3, which is a little bit strange. You haven't got anything falling on beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's about the tempo, 140 BPM. So your right hand's having to play, which isn't impossible. If you wanted to, you could play quarter notes. If you find that easier for whatever reason, you could play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So those bass drums on the and of 2 and the and of 3 are going to fall in between the right hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The reason I suggested this is that your right hand's doing less, up to speed. But you might find those bass drum parts trickier to play because you're having to play on and in between the right hand. It's up to you. So we get that first bar being played 8 times with the intro, and then for the verse 1, no crash cymbals by the way, we just continue with another 2 lines of 8 bars. Then we go into the pre-chorus 1 where that bar gets continued for another 2 bars, and then we change in bar 3 to a double-handed hi-hat groove. So these are the 2 different, well, there's actually 3 different types of drum beats. But bar 3 is different. We're going to play 1 E-ander, 2 and 3 and 4 E-ander. Right, left, 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 right, left. And those bass drums are going to fall with the right hand every time. So you could leave out the double-handed hi-hat part if you wanted to, if you're not there yet with the double-handed grooves. You could leave out that bar 3. Perhaps no one's going to miss it really. You could just play up to the drum fill, but on the recording, we get that double-handed hi-hat part. So perhaps as a little practice idea, take bar 2 and bar 3 and make a little loop. Eventually try to get it up to speed, perhaps create a 2-bar loop of each. Get it down comfortably, hopefully, and if you can play up to speed, then you're doing really well. We go from that double-handed hi-hat groove into our first drum fill. And the double-handed thing is just going to continue down to the snare drum. So you played 4 E-ander at the end of that 3rd bar, but then you're going to come down to the snare drum to play 1 E-ander, 2 and I've written it as right, left, right, left, right, right. But you could play right, left, right, left, right, left. It doesn't really matter. 1 E-ander, 2 and. So we're continuing that double-handed onto the snare drum. So nothing changes there, we just move the hands from the hi-hat to the snare drum. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4, 1 E and a 2 and. And I played it right, left, you could play right, right. So up to speed. Dabba dabba dabba, 1 E and a 2 and. We then skip over beat 3 and we come in with and 4 and. So floor tom and snare drum playing the backbeat on beat 4, 3 and 4 and. So we get these bass drums on the ands of 3 and the and of 4. And when we go to the next line, we are going to play a crash cymbal. We're going to move to the open hi-hat. So we're actually going to get 3 bass drum notes in a row because the groove starts with 1 and 2 and 3. So we're going to get and 4 and 1 and 2. So be aware that we're going to play 3 bass drums in a row for that one transition from the end of that drum fill into chorus 1. If you find that tricky, you could leave out the bass drum on the and of 4. You could play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3. If you wanted to, you could leave out that bass drum. Let me just talk about chorus 1 briefly, then I'll play this up to speed and perhaps slowly a few times as well. So chorus 1, you just heard me play it. We're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So this is our third type of drum beat, even though the previous 2 had the same bass drum snare drum pattern. This is different, the bass drum's pattern is different. And like I said, we're playing on the open hi-hat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the chorus, because we've got the open hi-hat, really lends itself well to playing quarter notes. And it'll sound almost exactly the same. You could play just the quarter notes. That was both types, and you couldn't really hear the difference there, apart from the mic picking up the rubber pad. So for the chorus, you definitely could play quarter notes if you found that easier for whatever reason. So let's create a little loop now. Let's play pre-chorus 1 into chorus 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4, 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And what I did there, after the crash cymbal, I didn't feel the need to rush back to the hi-hat for the and of beat 1. I played 1 and 2 and 3. I started the hi-hat eighth notes from beat 2 onwards. It's just a thing that drummers do. The crash cymbal is ringing out. No one's going to miss that hi-hat on the end of beat 1, so you could do that as well. Let me now play up to speed for you. So I'm going to play the last 4 bars of verse 1, 4 bars of pre-chorus 1, and then the first line of chorus 1 up to speed. Here we go. So the final thing that I want to mention, which I forgot to mention just then, is at the end of chorus 1, every 8 bars there's a drum fill. Very, very simple, 4 meander. So we're getting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 6 and 3 and 4 and 16th notes are double the speed or double the rate of 8th notes. So you're going to hear exactly the same as the 1 E and the 2 and, except just 4 meander. So we get 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. As you see there, we go back to the open hi-hat for the next line after that drum fill. There's no crash cymbal. If you did accidentally, fine, don't worry about it. But on a recording, you just go straight back to the hi-hat. So let's continue on, although I don't think there's much more to explain now, because the second line of chorus 1 is exactly the same as the first line, except without that crash cymbal at the beginning. We then go into bridge 1. Notice there's no crash cymbal. We just close the hi-hat after that last drum fill. And we change drum beats. So the last two bars of chorus 1 into bridge 1 would be. I just close the hi-hat on beat 1 after the drum fill, or you could also close it on beat 4 of the drum fill. Does that make sense? I think so. So bridge 1, back to our first drum beat. Verse 2, exactly the same structure as verse 1. Pre-chorus 2, you'll be pleased to hear, is exactly the same as pre-chorus 1. Chorus 2, exactly the same, and then the outro is just basically the chorus being played again, and no crash cymbals. But the song ends with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 re-endo. So we don't get 4 re-endo 1, we get 4 re-endo. And I chose to close the hi-hat foot there. I can't remember on the recording if that's what happens, but the song suddenly ends. So you're not playing 4 re-endo 1, you're playing 4 re-endo 1. And the song ends up in the air on the of beat 4. And I probably would close the hi-hat foot on beat 1, so I'm playing like that. So the hi-hat stops ringing out, so you get this very sudden ending. And that's how the song ends. Simple as that. So, I hope you found that quick lesson useful and enjoyable. Don't forget you can download the full PDF from my website. Again, the link is beneath this video. It's for free. And if you've got any questions, you might like to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And while you're over at the website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. And what I currently offer for £97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And that's coming up to almost 750 famous and popular songs where, just like this lesson, I teach you the song from start to finish. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart, if I didn't mention that already. And I've got hundreds of beginner songs up on the website. And I'm sure I'll be adding more Idols stuff as well. They're a popular band, so look forward to perhaps more Idols stuff in the future. As a thank you for signing up, I'll give you access to 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds of famous drum beats, fills, and even drum solos. I'll give you access to hundreds more little videos teaching you many, many more famous drum beats, fills, and even drum solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record new lessons every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So plenty of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But any questions, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. Until our next drum lesson together, twiddle pip and happy drumming to you.